Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me and see me. Share this with your friends and family and enemies, especially your enemies. And if you like what you see, consider subscribing. Be sure to hit the like button. Also, hit the subscribe button and then the bell. So, do all the things you're supposed to be doing when you're on stream. So, I got triggered again. And, well, I have a few hours left before I have to visit my sister. So I thought, why not use this time to give you a opposite of propaganda, the truth, like all the good things that the Bolsheviks have done. Because what people don't realize is that unless you're okay, for a normal American who's like unbelievably stupid, they're not going to recognize it when the Bolsheviks did a good thing, because the New York Times is not going to say the Bolsheviks did a good thing. So let me bring out my funny China drawing for this that I've made. And let's see, how does this work? Found it. Okay, this is really funny. So you see this China drawing? So if the topic is Islam, this is what the Western press does. What did China do? Nothing. Animal cruelty goes unchecked in China is what the propaganda is going to say. Nothing. China violates women's rights. Okay, suppose that China did something like, suppose China did something like, what could it have? Oh, yikes, what am I doing? Okay. Something like, it'll say, is China persecuting Muslims? China commits genocide against Muslims. China doesn't allow religious freedom. So once you understand that even when the Bolsheviks do something good, what's going to happen is that the propaganda is going to frame it as something terrible, like, are the Bolsheviks cracking down on religion? Well, I mean, did religion crack down on the Bolsheviks? Hi, Tea Sandwich, thank you for being first. So yeah, the questions they'll ask is, are the Bolsheviks cracking down on religion? That means that they got rid of Nazi priests. And so on and so forth. If you don't believe me, let me give you one of my favorite hilarious New York Times article. By the way, share this. Do you see this? Is it big enough? Okay. It says, Reds are running the children of Russia. Okay. Lunacharsky's system of calculated moral depravity described by Swiss teacher. Can you hear me? Okay. Scholars committees rule teachers. Lessons are supplanted by dancing and flirtations. The most diabolical of all the measures conceived by the Bolshevist rulers of Russia to perpetuate their domination is their systematic corruption of generations to undermine and destroy family life, to estrange children from their parents by encouraging them in unlimited indulgence of idleness and pleasure, to inculcate brutal and materialistic principles in the receptive minds of the young boys and girls, is the surest method the Soviet dictators think to secure the duration of Bolshevism. The tragedy of Russian children was described to me a few days ago by a Swiss woman school teacher who just arrived here from Russia after 11 years of residence in Moscow. Like all branches of the Soviet administration, the Department of Public Instruction in Moscow has two faces. By the way, just so I forgot, let me just check if Lunacharsky is Jewish, because remember there's like 12, what was it? 17 Jews, 1 Russian, 1 Georgian, 1 Armenian. And the answer is, let's see, it says Lunacharsky Prasveshenia Еврей. Yep, he's Jewish. Okay. Just so you know. Добрый вечер. I don't know if Richard Wolff doesn't want you to know as much as he doesn't think, I don't know what to say. I don't see bad intention in him, actually. So where are we? I'm sorry. Okay, so Lunacharsky, the Jewish Bolshevik, has two faces, not just in case. Okay. It presents a placid aspect of progressive socialism and modern pedagogic ideals calculated to impress foreign intellectuals favorably for Russia. It is a political machine driven by and engendering tyranny, cruelty, and corruption. Lunacharsky, Commissary for Public Instruction, is a consummate comedian. Trading on his former reputation as an exiled idealist and a man of letters, he issues decrees instituting a system of education based on Tolstoy's principles and publishes articles in the Soviet press expounding, elevating theories and exhibiting a most tender solicitude for Russia's youth. All this is to hoodwink the unsuspecting pedagogues and win sympathies of the simple-minded enthusiasts in foreign countries. Anyone reading Lunacharsky's decrees and articles would suppose that Russia had been transformed into a children's paradise. But the truth is altogether different. There exists one type of school in Russia today. This is officially the common school. Okay, so they're mad that they outlawed private basically, if you listen to last week's episode where Lenin talks about class schools and then estate schools, like most kids were illiterate, so there was no school. And then they said, okay, you psychos, you can't have your private schools. We're going to take them over and make sure that we don't have child labor. So that's what they're really mad about, but this is how they say it. Okay. There are no longer any school books, not because the Bolsheviks are opposed to their use, but for the simple reason that the old school books are considered counter-revolutionary, and the Department of Public Instructions has been too busy issuing decrees and instructions to teachers to publish new ones. Teachers... Okay, so anarchists should like this. See, teachers are forbidden to give the children homework, tasks to prepare at home, and even question them during lessons. All schools are under the supervision of the education department of the local Soviets, which keeps a close watch on the political tendencies of the teachers. Most old school teachers have been replaced by youths and young girls still in their teens who have barely graduated. In some cases, entirely, this is not true. Have been appointed. Thus, the headmaster, is the famous Alexandrovsky Cadet School is a former corporal whose first act of authority, that sounds insane. He probably did not do that. Is to prohibit the use of toothbrushes, tooth powder, combs, and all toiletry articles as of a bourgeoisie. I am really positive he didn't do that. Yeah, he does. Except he doesn't help with the brainwashing, and often I think you kind of have to go hit them with the shot, like shock, hit them like I do, because you have to first thing is you have to babysit them. So you have to start with, in the beginning, God said, let there be light, and be like, on January 1st, 1919, the Bolsheviks didn't do this. On January 2nd, 1919, the Bolsheviks didn't do this. On January 3rd, and then you have to go through every year since then to prove that the Bolsheviks didn't do something, because that's the only way we're going to do it, is literally say this doesn't happen. Like you're proving what didn't happen. And okay, so let's continue. Okay, religious instruction is forbidden. Okay, co-education in okay to this. To this system of satanic deprivation belong children's balls. Okay. Okay. Oof. Okay. This is okay. A lot of this is just like probably a lie, but what you can tell with this language is two things. The first thing is that they have common schools, so commoners can go to school. So they have public schools. Children are not working in factories or coal mines. So children are at school. Even if they don't learn a single thing, if just being at school means they're not working at a coal mine or a factory or a farm, or not being something worse. So, yeah. So the Bolsheviks, but of course, when you read the New York Times, they'll never show you that. Let me give you another example of how but look at this. Now look at how the Tsar of Russia's non-schools were presented as by the New York Times. See? Great progress in recent years, especially in the Baltic provinces. Okay, and this is the number of illiterates among young army conscripts. 37%, 39, 36. In Livonia, which is, I believe, Lithuania or Latvia, 8 school children per 100 are literate. They can read, as in 8 school children per 100 can read. In St. Petersburg, 6.5 school children per 100. Yaroslav, 5.5. So most people are not, but look at how the New York Times frames this as great progress when only 6 out of 100 can read, when 94 out of 100 cannot read. But then they call public school for all satanic. So if you're like not a very careful reader and you're only a purveyor of American facts, you could totally miss this. I mean, they haven't lied to you per se, as in they have told you that there are common schools that everyone goes to, including commoners, but they won't present it as, wow, great thing. In fact, they are going to present it as authoritarianism. They're outlawing that's what they did with Fidel Castro too, when he outlawed segregation. And then they moved their kids over here to live with pedophiles. Google Operation Peter Pan. But that's just the way it is, because the New York Times is an organ of class power. It is like Pravda, but for the bourgeoisie. So they will frame everything that the Bolsheviks. So the idea is that you can't really lie about too much. I mean, if kids are suddenly not, dying in the coal mines, it's a little hard to lie about that. But they're going to frame it as a bad authoritarian thing and hope that you don't notice what used to exist before. So, with this, we will begin our first thing, all the good things that the Bolsheviks did. The very first thing is that Lenin got arrested for teaching workers how to read in 1892. Number one. Okay, so and then there's this one, one of my favorites. You know how they said, okay, so okay, now in 1920, Lenin sends a memo to Luna, how do you pronounce his name? Lunacharsky. Okay, and this is what the memo says. By the way, please donate, subscribe. Sorry, I feel so. A number of monasteries outside of Petrograd should be taken over to accommodate defective homeless children and adolescents. So Lenin basically took over monasteries that were just like hoarding lots of land and gave it to and built orphanages and helped poor, basically homeless children, kids without parents, disabled children. But they won't ever tell you about this because they're going to say, oh my God, the Bolsheviks are cracking down on religion. It's like, fuck off. So that's the first thing. Let's see. So so Lenin abolished basically. Let's see. One of the first decrees was abolishing child labor. And then also in the Soviet Union, if you spoke, let's say you didn't speak Russian, let's say you're at home, you spoke Georgian or whatever, you had a right to be educated in your home language. So, so what happened is that they required everyone to learn Russian, but they also required everyone to like everyone. I forgot what they did. Okay, now let's look at this one. He didn't eliminate secondary school. He just merged it so that they were like all going to one school as opposed to like two schools. Do you see this one? No, you don't. Hi, Fazkaz, welcome. I just wanted to explain to you what happened, all the good things that the Bolsheviks done. So we're talking about education. So they had a preschool, primary school, secondary school, and higher school, and an art school, I guess. I mean, this is pretty good compared to what the Tsar did. He didn't have school for everyone because most people were expected to be illiterate, and the literacy rate was pretty bad. Let's see. Okay, so there was the he also took over landed gentry's land to build hospitals in rural areas. Um, let's see, what else did they do? I'm just doing the little small ones first. Um, let's see. Um, they cured the illiteracy. Okay, this one's really good. Okay, this one, look at how they helped. Like, you know how when anarchists are crying about how the Soviet Union didn't help like other movements or whatever? Look at this. God bless the Soviet Union, is what I said, because the Soviet Union in 1926 gave minors in British, how much is that? Holy God! That's a lot of money. $2.1 million in strike funds. Thank God for the Soviet Union, is what I have to say for this. Holy God, that's good. Wow. And this is in the New York Times. Yeah. So we have 3 good things that the Soviets did. Let's see. There's a lot, but I just kind of want to okay. Let's see. Let's see. um, okay, let's just say in 1918. Okay, 1919. Let's see. Let's see. Where do we do it? Okay, we did schools, hospitals. Oh yeah, I forgot. Food actually. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this one's really funny. Okay, so this is what they say. This is really funny. Okay. Okay, so basically they okay, so what you'll okay, let me share this. This is actually so funny. Okay. So they basically allow women to register to vote or something like that. So um so as according to the okay, okay, what is it? Okay, this is a total no, this is not even that. This is just a total lie. I'm sorry. According to in Krasnaya Gazeta publishes an account of the results of the nationalization. The system provides that every girl on reaching the age of 18 must register her name in the Bureau of Free Love. I'm sorry. Okay, this is just too ridiculous, even for New York Times. Oh my God. Okay. So let me just highlight this. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. The Bureau of Free Love. Isn't this like what Jordan Peterson said about communism? Like this is like Jordan Peter. This is literally what Jordan Peterson said about communism, right? That they'll all get like wives. Yeah. Good night is great. I don't know. I'll have to check on that. Okay. So, whoa, this is hilarious. I love coming across new discoveries like this. Let's see, the Bureau. Okay, so I think this is just like a made up crap because this is like, this is a little incubator baby ish, really, like totally made up. Okay, this one's hilarious. Okay, my guess is no, I believe it's probably a voter registration or the literacy registration or something dumb like that. But that's just wait, how do they expect themselves? Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Whew. What else is there? Uh, let's see. Okay. Uh, social. Okay, this sounds like a little bit another Jordan Peterson article by the New York Times. Can you get it? This is the funniest thing ever. Mm, let's see. Uh, no more. Okay, this sounds okay. What is this? Okay, this is just nut. This is just like total nuts. Uh, okay. Okay, this is just nuts. Okay. I can't take this one. Like, it's like too big for me to even waste the time. Let me see. Let's see. Um, time as a cure for. Okay. 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 So, oh yeah. Okay. Lenin's first. Okay. Let's just go through some of Lenin's decrees. Actually, that's not the first decree is the decree on the land, bread, and peace. I believe. Okay. Let me just go. Len's decrees. Okay, let's see. I love his letters though; they're adorable. But let's not. Okay, let's go through the Okay, let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me just give me one more minute. Give me one more minute. Found it. Okay, perfect. Let's go through just some of the decrees so that you understand all the good things that the Bolsheviks have done. Um, okay. Okay, so they took this one back because that was stupid. Okay. Let's see. To the workers, peasants. Okay. That looks good. The decree on peace. The work called by. So now they just want peace. So they wanted to end World War One. So that's the first one. The next one is the decree on land. So it basically all land proprietorship is fourth abolished. Landed everything is taken over by the people. All damages to and it should. Okay, this is funny. Yeah. So you know how the Contras like would rather murder every villager than like let them have a cow or something. Well, yeah. The third is to like stop the Contras. Well, I guess they were the whites now, not the Contras, but whatever. The same idea. By the way, did anyone please donate? I need the money. And I feel like, and share. Okay. Let's see. I forgot. Contras. Following the peasant mandate compiled by something, all damage to, yeah. So this is basically socializing everything. Decree to form the government. Decree on constituents assembly. So basically the Tsarist constituents assembly was like not a Tsarist, sorry, Kerensky, whatever bullshit. It was basically like not that different, and because they knew the minute you have democracy, that Russia was going to pull out of World War One, so they were kind of like not kind of half-assing it. Okay. Suppression of hostile newspapers. Sure. I just don't think Tsarists need newspapers, but whatever. Inciting open okay. Sowing confusion. This is really funny, as I've shown you. Like in the beginning, he does Vladimir Ulyanov and puts a bracket Lenin, and then that starts creating so much confusion that he immediately gives up. Like shortly, signing it as Ulyanov, he'll just like because he has like often like you had to have people come back and be like, this dude is not believing that you are Ulyanov. They don't know who Ulyanov is, and they're wondering who the hell is Vladimir Ulyanov. So then he's like, okay, whatever, and then he gives up. Within like Stalin never even tried to go to Jugashvili. Okay, so this is okay. Oh, okay. Decree on the hours of labor. Okay, so notice this one. Time used to go down. So basically, he's limiting work to 8 hours a day or 48 hours a week. So this is like, okay, so stupid people are going to read this as, oh my God, Lenin is forcing people to work 8 hours a day. No. In Tsarist Russia, you worked from 9 a.m. No, sorry. 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. So he is limiting the amount of work to 8 hours a day. So, for example, now the amount of time coal miners go down the mine and come up counts as work time. Before it didn't. So like the time inside the mine only counted that way, and they'd lose like a lot of money that way. But no, they won't. Working time as determined by the rules of the internal organ. Okay, shall not exceed 8 working hours and 48 days a week, and it also count like basically cleaning up also counts that. Okay, so and then he requires everyone to have a holiday on Christmas. No more than 6 hours of work, and then there should be at least 1 hour of lunch. I don't think most Americans get this, right? Right today? I've heard horror stories about Amazon lunches being only 20 minutes long or something, or 10 minutes. I forgot what. But Lenin gave you that. Or not Lenin, but the Soviet. I don't even care. Okay, I'm gonna cult of personality-ify this. Okay, I don't care. Enterprise, because I mean, if you're gonna like blame Lenin for everything, you should also give him credit for everything. So okay. If conditions cannot leave to eat, a special room must be provided. This is obligatory in men who come into contact with unhealthy materials like mercury and lead. Total amount of it shouldn't. Okay, that's fine too. Oh, look at this. Boys and girls under the age of 16 are not to be employed for night work. That makes sense. For enterprises working on maybe shortened to half an hour each. Okay. In cases where workers wish to have a longer or make okay. So workers can get to decide if they want to have a longer lunch. Those are not allowed to work. He banned child labor, and this is on what day was this? Okay, this is literally 4 days after they took power. And those under 18 years of age cannot be employed more than 6 hours. So if you're between 14 and 16, you had to like work part-time, and all children under the 15 years of age are banned. And then after January 1920, all children under the age of 20 were banned from being worked. I guess, yeah, okay. So I guess they considered 20 as children too, which okay, fair enough. Like, I mean, I think, I don't know. Like, I think your brain doesn't develop, so I think people should be considered children until the age of 24. But what do you guys think? Okay. But we should abolish bedtimes after 18. Okay. According to their beliefs, non-Christians may have other. So look, he gave Fridays off for Muslims and Saturdays. Like, if you were not a Christian, you didn't have to have. They had to give you days off according to your beliefs. Okay, so free days may be substituted for other days. In case of one shift, the minimum duration of. Okay. So, okay, women and minors under the children can't be coal mining. And women and minors can't work overtime. Men may work if the workmen so your union had to approve of this as opposed to your boss. So your boss couldn't do it. All overtime, and then they would audit them. And then you can't work more than 50 maximum days. Okay, and you will not get more than 4 hours. Oh, and this was Lauren, who is, let me see, is he Jewish? Yeah, okay, yes. Apparently he's also one of the 17 Jews. What is science? The children, okay, good. So you guys agree that 24 is the age that people should be, like, because apparently Lenin considered people the age of 20 children. So why not? So look at all the good things. And do you think you would have gotten 8-hour workdays in America without Lenin? Niet. Decree of social insurance. Wow. I don't think we have this. Okay. This is good to know. Okay. So you think we should extend okay. Good. Okay. I'm glad okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like, I always find the thing where you like try juveniles as adults to be extremely disturbing. Okay. Now social insurance to the city and will be prepared. Insurance for all wage workers as well for the city and village poor. Insurance to care for disability, illness, old age, maternity, and widowhood. And the cost should be borne by employer. Insurance, okay, that's fine too. So this is something you don't even have now in America. Let's see. Right of the people of. Okay, so basically they got rid of all the landed gentry. Let's see. Appeal. Okay. So Muslims. Oh my God. This is in 1913. Muslims got like a right to have halal. That's amazing. Okay. And this is just the first few months. Let's see. What else did they do? Decrees on democratization of the army. This meant that the armies got to vote for their superior as opposed to blindly follow some idiot's orders. In America, you still don't get this. So there they got to elect their officers, and then that way you could trust them, and that's why you notice they trusted each other, and then they ended up like beating the Nazis. Um, so that was the thing. Let's see. Um, nationalization of banks. Um, let's see. Resolution on national. Okay. All nationalities. Okay, this is the one I wish they didn't have, which led to the dissolution of the Soviet Union, which was all nationalities have a right of self. Fuck that. They should have totally not done that. Um. So this is just the first few months. Let's see. So who they were authoritarian towards were things like coal mining companies where you couldn't have child labor anymore, and they'd come and check to make sure you bastards would not employ children. So when you look at it from the perspective of a coal mining company, yeah, the Soviets are authoritarian. Good. Um, he everything that's good in this world is probably connected to Lenin, and I'm not exaggerating. Just name whatever you want that's good in this world, and I'll explain how it's connected to Lenin. Okay, that's a silly joke. But it's okay. Is it a joke? I don't know. I bet you everything. Okay. Okay. Good. It's okay. Well, it's okay. Okay. So we've gone through education. Oh, okay. So we've gone through education, giving peasants land, eradicating homelessness, giving homeless children places to stay. What did we blank? Okay, so we got all the basics. Oh, work hour days. Um, Also, satanic schooling, where children are banned apparently from homework. That's funny. I know you laughed. My mom's react, who's pro. She was in reference to sexual rev. Was that a thing? I don't know what. By the way, on this day, Chile defeated Pinochet. So I will cut this on the stream, but why not? Let's just play this song. On this day in 1988, they had the referendum. And this is one of the corny songs that, like, they couldn't really do much because Pinochet was censoring everything. So, but this is like a corny song that they had to do. Chile. What is it? Yeah, alegre. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so on this day, Pinochet was defeated. Let's try this. Okay, hold on. Привет, мимбой. Как дела? Let's see. And this is in recognition of Pinochet going. So it was a very hard thing to do. I know the movie Go kind of simplified it a little bit for a movie, but it was, come on. But they got rid of Pinochet, so it's worth it. Um, so yeah, it's not that. See, no, okay. So the problem with the movie is they kind of did. Okay, so it wasn't quite okay. So they focused on the advertising campaign because that was the most visible because Pinochet censored everything and they couldn't really speak about the issues. So they're like happiness because Pinochet censored them and they were kind of afraid of like getting thrown from helicopters. But the hard work was done in the past like 8 years where they had to go through rural districts and like make sure that like no trick was left uncovered, and they had to get the courage of getting the rural people to like be like, okay, the international people are monitoring this, he's not going to throw you from a helicopter, feel free to vote no, no one's and then the US weren't too happy, but they did have to kind of he was defeated. But the work that they had to do was years. And when Pinochet came, his constitution banned unions, and they were banned from going on strike. It was, I don't even know, like it was it was one of the most cruelest constitutions ever. And that's why they had to kill so many people because it was so unpopular. That's why they had to drop people from helicopters. Even today, they keep finding mass graves in Chile. And what America took from Chile, I don't think, I don't know, like it was so cruel. I still don't, I mean, it was very cruel. People, I don't know what to say other than that. But thank God that today Pinochet got defeated. And then, yeah. Okay. So women did have better sex under communism, but it was not because there was a sexual revolution, but because like if okay, let's say okay, so first of all, if you don't have to worry about the husband to support you, then if he sucks as a husband, you can totally leave him, you can divorce him. And women got the right to divorce. Oh my god, that's another good deed Lenin did. Lenin also made a really funny cuck joke too. We covered this a few weeks back with Sebastian, but yeah, Lenin makes a really good cuck joke. Let me see if I can find the Lenin's really good cuck joke about his wife finding another, like some dude's wife finding another husband. But yeah, so then you got like, so if your husband was abusive, you didn't have to stay with him because you weren't afraid of being homeless. So then you got to go out and for love. And what they noticed was that women had better sex in East Germany, but then when capitalism came back in all of Germany, women in East Germany started having really bad sex too. So yes, they had lots of good sex under communism. No more incels, only Valcels. Okay. Хорошо. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I'm a little nervous, but сегодня мы читали текст о Лимоносове в уроке. Did I get that right? Oh, don't worry about it. Just share. If you can't donate, just share, tweet, and share, tweet, recommend. I'd rather have you guys recommend this to 10 friends than, okay, what did I miss? I'm sorry. Сегодня мы прочитали в уроке, на уроке. Which one did I miss? Okay, I'm going to go crazy. Please tell me what I missed. So let's see. I said na urokia versus wait, is it v urokia or na urokia? You know, it's close open. Na urokia. Da. Okay. Let's see. Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, all the good things Lenin did. Let's see. Okay, so this is just 19 and I've made lots of playlists. Okay, help me. Please help me with the algorithms. So make playlists. Do whatever you need to help me with the algorithms. Okay. Let's see. What else do? Oh, do we need to? Let's see. What else do we need to? Oh, yeah. We're still in 1919, right? And these are all the good things that Lenin did that they still haven't caught up in the U.S. That's a really funny thing. Is that yeah, like the West pretends to be like all enlightened, but then the West can't actually catch up to what the East did like 100 years ago. But whatever. Let's see. Let's look up the decrees from 1919. Um, let's see. Oh, there's a lot of decrees. Okay, okay. Yeah. Let's see. Eradication of illiteracy on December 26th, 1919. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot. Oh, wow. I found all. Okay, this is good. I found the Russian document where we have all the decrees. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay. Let's uh, let's see. What I don't think people understand is how bad life sucks if you're poor in a third world country. Like in India, if you're of a lower caste and you're a poor person, like you might not be able to drink water from a cup from a Brahmin's house or something like horrible like that. I've seen it all. I mean, your child has to quit third grade to go work in a sweatshop. And then so there's the really big oppressions, like being completely powerless if some Westerner decides to rape your child. Like those are the big oppressions. And then there's the having to be powerless when something that can be fixed with money won't be fixed, like your child is sick or your mother's sick or your brother's disabled, etc. Then there's the indignity of how you're invisible to the wealthy, and and how you're treated like worse than, like you're not even treated like a human. I mean, if you're a domestic labor, I've seen people like work from like 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. and then sleep in like a little small room by the guy who's like, and then if you're sleeping in that person's house, how do you know he's not raped? I mean, you don't, you're trusting, and some people are good and they may not rape their servants, and some people are bad and they probably are raping their servants. So we never know. But the thing is that they're powerless to act. Let's see. What else is there? I mean, the powerlessness is probably the worst thing ever. Not being able to read is very difficult. Like I've never been. That's the thing. I've only seen it. Like I've never experienced it, but what I've seen is enough to turn me into a tanky. Yeah. Let's see. It's just I'm trying to just. It's like having to, like, some girls have to get married at age 12 because it's actually better than the alternative of being a child prostitute. I mean, imagine child marriage is seen as the lesser of two evil. So for me, I guess I understand the bigotry that they would have faced, like in newspapers like this, like all the psychotic stuff. And then B, the powerlessness that they would have had before. Yeah, like I said, become a child prostitute. Yeah. it's horrendous. I know. And yeah, like I said, everyone who's been in a third world country, like I guess you're from Chile, like knows how bad can get. Um, yeah, the informal sector is the most abusive sector. Like you think if you're working for some old lady, it's not. She's probably worse than the mining corporation in some ways. um, but when you're like, see, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it is horrific, horrendous, and no one should live that. It's like it's like a chapter out of the Heart of Darkness that people that you never, and because your voice is not important. No, not all. Some. Okay, we'll continue. Because your voice, you're not even considered human. Your voice, like no matter how much you scream, you're ignored. And this is the main thing with the reactionaries, is that because they had such little opinion about the Bolsheviks, that even though the Bolsheviks literally did everything in public and screamed about it, they just ignored them. And then now they're like, oh my God, how did this happen? And rent off at corporate, they see them at, I don't know what corporate is. But yeah, it's like unimaginable, the kind of indignity. Like, so what you have to notice is that when you, like, I've seen India today, but Russia in 1918 was much worse than India today, if you can imagine. So I don't think it goes to people's imagination how bad it was. It was really bad. And anyone who's like not being paid like the New York Times by czarists and don't call the czar Nick would have mentioned it. But yeah, it was really bad. So, and I understand how hard it is. Like, I mean, I'm trying to imagine how this would be done in India today. Like, and it's almost like a miracle. So, I have extra appreciation for both Russia and China just because of what I see in India and what I wish wasn't there, that doesn't exist in either Russia or China. Even with the Soviet Union having fallen, it's not as like you're not having children dying of cholera, whatever. Like, and that to me is all we can ask, that children have a full stomach and they go to school. So, with that, I will be doing more and more about, well, I mean, don't accept being poor. Learn how to fight for your rights with others. Learn how to form no, it's, I would, but it's a really boring movie. So it's not that I'm worried that it's anti-communist, it just seems boring. Is my video still frozen? Okay, so you'll like the new song. Trust me on this. Is it better now? Um, well, I was going to answer your question. I have not seen the movie, but I guess so, because I have a big idea. Unless you guys want me to stay and answer questions, I can. But I have a big idea, so I'll be doing more Bolsheviki scream. I know. Okay, you'll see. The new song, it'll grow on you. First time you're not gonna like it, but after 10 times you're gonna start dancing to it like I do. I don't know. Is Sure, but I bet you they didn't find it threatening as much as boring. I bet you they were like, okay, we're not producing this movie because it's boring. Is like, I bet you, yeah, I bet you it was because it was boring, and totalitarianism for whom? What you'll notice is that Lenin in 1918 had a decree where he said, I kind of don't know what I'm doing, so you don't actually have to follow my laws. Correct. Okay, so that just means that you need to read Lenin and get figure out a way to be more creative. And if it's in the Imperial Corps, it's tough. But what you can do is be less alone and join our Telegram, and hopefully you'll find each other. I haven't seen it. I just tried for 2 minutes. It's so boring. Okay, if I could not sit and watch it. So I don't know. I was bored. To the point where I turned it off after about 4 minutes because it was boring. But who knows? It might be a great story. What people don't realize is that 1984, George Orwell lifted it from a Russian novel called Me, which means we. But whatever. Anyways, if you don't have any questions, I was going to check out, just because I was this helps me at least to keep it things organized, and like I said, you'll be very happy soon. And read Lenin, and don't worry about the Imperial. If you're in the Imperial Corps, life sucks. I'm so sorry, but well, yeah. But if you remember it's fiction, enjoy it. Okay, fine. I will play the old song before I leave then.